We're about to go on any second now. Sending data. All right. We're on Facebook Live. Hi, Catherine.
Yeah, hi, Sophie.
Hello, Facebook land. All right. We've just been sitting here debating. We were going to go live at 5, but we've been sitting here chatting instead.
Yeah.
Trying to get ourselves into the right frame of mind. So
because we've got New Year's brain.
Yeah, so. That's right, New Year's brain. Yeah, we were just talking about that, trying to process everything, trying to get ourselves back into who are we? What are we doing here?
Oh, you wouldn't believe there's just a whole lot of stuff I could talk about, but yeah.
And I've been trying to settle this girl down. She's a bit manic, ideas are popping all over the place, and so we haven't even had a chance much to talk about what we're going to talk about, but. All right, we're on YouTube as well. So, so we just thought we just should launch into it, go again. We don't know who's going to watch us or not, but just consistency is the key here. So we just want to keep on plugging away at this and until we kind of get our flow, get into our zone, figure it out what it is how we're going to do this. So, So how was your Christmas and New Year?
It was pretty chill, and then the chillness was a bit too much that I was ending this. My mentor Mandy gave me this idea about side hustles, and
sounds like you said my mentor Mandy.
Yeah, she's
mental.
Mentor, mentor Mandy.
My mentor Mandy. So do you want to talk a bit about why you've got a mentor? Do you want to talk a bit about what your issues are?
Because I got NDIS, so. I better use it instead of lose it, because if you don't use your funding...
So do you want to talk about why you're on NDIS?
Because I'm not sure what the specific thing was. It might have been Asperger's, autism. At the time that's what I was diagnosed with, I believe. So it wasn't necessarily about bipolar or schizoaffective or anything else like that.
Yeah.
So
you get a bit of support. That's good.
And I get DE Surrey as well.
You get what?
Yeah, I'm developmental educator Surrey. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's really good.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, and Catherine's been talking lately about getting a bit excited about the idea of getting off her medication.
And it's been all right. I mean, at the time when I'm off my DV...
DV is for
develop vaccine,
which is an antidepressant.
Yeah.
So, which has always been a bit of a pet interest of mine is how we can create community situations where we can support each other getting off pharmaceuticals. So I'm really excited about that. But I know that we've got to be cautious with psych drugs.
Yeah, side effects.
Yeah, well, coming off, the very reason that we went on them in the first place. How to manage that. But it's definitely a real big issue that so many people are on antidepressants and different mood stabilizing drugs that, I think it's pretty important. And so, we'll keep you posted on how it goes. So she's cutting back on her antidepressants?
Yeah, about half. I used to alternate a bit, day to day.
Yeah. So I think a big part is having a community of people around you, having support. Because it's like you were saying, I think one of your breakdowns was when there was a lot of responsibility pressure on you. And
I think, definitely.
I think that's something that we're not really designed to take as much as sometimes we get of that kind of responsibility pressure in life, and it makes us very vulnerable to having psychological issues. And so we've got some interesting guests coming up this year too, and one of them I just remembered is an Adelaide woman, a friend of yours, Linda, who's also struggled with a lot of psychological issues, as has myself and a lot of people, especially people I knock around with. We all seem to be, coming up with ideas of how to survive the 21st century, maybe. So anyway, so we got our dear Linda, who said she'll come and she'd like to talk about self-harm, which has been something she's overcome in her life. So
It's good to have somebody else on to, like, I haven't gone down that route, so I don't know nothing about it. Like,
yeah, we all got to just bring to the table what we know and what we've got. So you'll be able to talk about, there's lots you're overcoming in your life, isn't there? And you'll be able to talk about that and having autism and how you manage that.
I don't really talk about it very much and reference it and stuff. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't know.
But you're not worried about talking about it, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm totally like open. I'll talk about stuff like, pretty much mostly anything, I think. So
yeah. Good.
Because it's good to be an open book on YouTube, and then other people can learn from your mistakes and problems and be like, oh, it's not just me who's having this issue, it's other people. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's so good. Well, we didn't get to talk about what we're going to talk about, and we must remember the pumpkin pop before we go. And so we might not do a full, like, try to sort of stretch this out for an hour or something. We might just do a quick one and say, hi, we're back, Facebook land and YouTube land. And if you get a chance, if anyone wants to support us and is listening, you could click on and go to my YouTube channel and maybe create a bit of interest there, put a like on there and subscribe. That would be really cool. And so it's going to get more and more interesting. This is 2025. We're going to have an amazing year.
Yeah. Well, Trump's in the White House, and that after the inauguration, obviously, like that'll be back to 2016 again, I guess.
Well, yeah, that's going to continue to be interesting to observe, to see what happens with all of that.
Yeah.
One of the things I was going to talk about was the strange fog. Have you been seeing any videos about the strange fog in America?
No.
Did we talk about the drones? Was that going on when we started? We were last?
I probably know about farming drones or something because I'm interested in farming without having been a farmer or anything. But yeah.
Right. So there's been these strange sightings of drones in America over a big portion of America, and also Europe and England. And it's a bit mysterious because the authorities aren't really taking it very seriously. Well, they don't seem to be. They don't be like, I seem to remember like there was a Chinese weather balloon or something went over America and they went and shot the thing down, like, get off our airspace. But with this situation, there's been these drones that like the size of an SUV, they said, like huge things.
Oh, yeah, I think you told me about that.
Yeah, right. And the official line is just like, oh, we don't know what they are, but, it's nothing to worry about. So, very weird. So I've been following that for a while, looking at, like, people posting footages of them. And there's some mysterious stuff going on as well, like things that don't quite make sense as a drone. And so it's sparking all kinds of thoughts about maybe Project Blue Beam and visits from aliens, but they're particularly lining up the United States, so maybe not. But then in the same area, so the people are sort of linking the idea that they've been having this peculiar fog over a lot of America, even in places where they don't usually have fog, and it's a strange fog. It's not like normal fog, and it's sort of like if you shine a light on it, you can see particles in the air. And it's not water-based, so, it's going on people's windscreen, and instead of turning into water, it's particles. And so it's triggered a lot of conspiracy theories because people are getting sick from it too. Getting headaches and stinging eyes and sore throats, and they're finding it's got an odd smell and a strange taste in the mouth. So people have been wondering about smart dust. Ever heard of smart dust?
No, but I'd probably be allergic to it, I guess. Dust is my one allergy.
Right. Dust, that would be an allergy to the dust mite, whereas this smart dust is man-made dust that is actually made up of
little machines, is it?
Little nano-sized I wrote it down. Hang on. So I was looking at a Forbes article from 2018 saying smart dust is coming. Are you ready? Kind of thing. So it's a technology that's here, and that they're little particles the size of a grain of sand. That each one is like a little sensor, like it's a little what do you call it, microchip type almost. It doesn't say that, but that's kind of what it looks like. It's got sensors and cameras and communication mechanism, and it's for transmitting data, and it's a sort of like an extension of the Internet of Things. So the Internet of Things is where all the what are they called? The things in your house, like your washing machine, your fridge, will all be talking to your smart meter, which will be sending information straight back into the cloud and into the main controls. Well, the smart dust is kind of doing that, but it can sort of be over whole terrain and be sending information back. So it can be used as a weapon to, like, as militarily to scope out areas and see what's happening. And it's sort of, anyway, I haven't got enough information. I really need to be able to share screen to be able to show little videos, clips of things like this, and that's something I want to do this year. Is we're going to get mastery of our technology. But so that was one of the things I was thinking of, and just before you got here, I was just looking at some whistleblower came out about what are they called? Directed energy weapons. Directed energy weapons. Yeah. Dew. Thank you. Dews. That's right. That was the word I was looking for. So there's someone I've been following since the Maui fires called Hustle Bitch is his handle on YouTube. And he's become really good. I think he was like a real estate or something. There was a few people. Did you follow the Maui fires at all?
I didn't.
You didn't?
There's things
we follow
like
different things, don't we?
We do. I just get this. I think I've been fully kept apart from everything else by self-help. Unfortunately, because I feel like I need self-help, and that's like first things first. Like you need to know how to live your life, you know. Yes, that is true. That is true. But I know you like a good conspiracy theory, so like that's sort of what started us off. Oh, it depends on what it is. Like if it's legitimate, like it's good to get into it if it's legitimate. But like if it's flat, like a map and model flat Earth, then I'm sick of it now. Yeah, good. Well, yeah, I'm the same. I don't want to waste time on, but it's like, so you've got to look into things. And so the things like the Maui fire and the dust that's going on, these are things that are actually happening in the real world. And so it's developing theories about things that you can see. That's good. Like, yeah. So the Maui fire, a lot of people were talking about directed energy weapons at that point, that there seemed to be a lot of evidence that something wasn't normal about those fires. Similar to the fires that we had in Australia at the beginning of 2020. Okay, something like that, yeah. So just being aware of these things. Like I think we need to talk about how to have a positive approach to where we are in the world and all these technologies that are potentially being used against us. Don't be scared. yeah. But it's a balancing thing, because it's like if you don't know, if you're oblivious, you're not scared. So you've got to balance the being aware, taking in the information, knowing what's going on, and then bring in the faith to know that there's a bigger picture. Maybe pray against it. Yeah, I reckon that's a big one, is to just get a little click in your mind to sort of like when you see something and it absolutely freaks you out, to sort of bring it back to God is greater than all of these things, and that there is a bigger plan, and to align. So it's about your own alignment. That's the only thing you can do. You can't really stop what other people are choosing to do or change it, but you can be aligned with God and God's plan and the good thing, and then in that you can be part of pushing these other people who are trying to take control
of everything push them off their track. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like spiritual. I said it was spiritual. This, like Brendan would talk about this as some sort of cyber technology, I guess. And he would say, let's get political. But he's a Catholic, and maybe, like, I told him to get spiritual, and he sort of brushed that off. But I think, because like, appealing to the higher power, considering the book of Job, where, you know, if Satan wanted to do anything, he had to go to God first. So, yeah.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Talking of books of the Old Testament, I was thinking today, I always think of like this whole technocracy takeover, this technocracy and transhumanist desire to control everything, which is I don't believe it's conducive with life or reality. So I think it will self-destruct to some degree. But I can't remember what I was going to say about technocracy. Oh yes, things like the internet is obviously a really important part of if you're going to have this airtight control state and use things like smart dust or something to be feeding back into these huge computers and to be able to scan everything and know what's happening in every inch of the planet. The same technology like the internet is also being used by ordinary people to uncover these things. So it's sort of like they're trying to use it to, and at the same time... It does
have a flaw,
yeah. At the same time, I think it's going to be their undoing as we're able to communicate with each other, just very ordinary people. It's a real leveler.
Yeah, I think they're working on they tried to put the freedom of speech bill. I think that got quashed in Australia, doesn't it? The freedom of speech bill?
I don't know, actually. I didn't see in the end.
Actually, I was getting mixed messages about that, and then I think it
is that you mean to do with that we're not talking about the under 16?
No, that was I think the under 16 thing went ahead, and certain people like it, certain people don't.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think it's just sort of huge, this ability we have to communicate with each other and on this level. So,
although we used to have community, like I just hear about the oldie days, and it was like people didn't move from their suburb; they just stayed in the one suburb, and maybe like one other. I'm probably talking about medieval times.
Well, like through all human history, really.
And then the Industrial Revolution, I believe, allowed people to be able to moving far and wide with the trains and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so it's fairly recent, all this disruption to the way we live.
Yeah.
But I guess it's like knowing that the technology is potentially being used against us, but there's the other side of that we're using it also against. Yeah,
because I was getting a bit freaked out about that, actually. Like, I don't want to use, I'm going to start, like, for 2025, get a paper notebook or calendar for myself. And it's like, well, I use like, I can be tracked in other ways. Obviously, my bank card and stuff like that, so.
And it's the smart dust.
Yeah.
It'll be all over us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so interesting, keeping an eye on it. And also, hoping my dear friend Karen, who has come to our Bible study and talked about, she was part of the protest that a lot of people in Australia went up to Canberra. I don't know who was aware of that. If we talked about that, Canberra.
I don't remember.
It was sort of, I think it was after Canada and all the truckies kind of protesting, and then
or Dutch farmers, was related to Dutch farmers as well.
Well, I remember mainly the Canada one being sort of linked in my mind with our one.
I recently looked up Dutch farmers, obviously.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Because I think so many people were so frustrated in Australia with the rollout of the vax and the whole thing, and so many people were waking up that there just had to be something, and so suddenly like swarms of people from all over Australia started converging on Canberra. And one of them was my friend Karen. And talking about directed energy weapons, that something was used against the Australian people at that time that I don't know how much we know about what it was, but there was definitely something went on that there was some sort of weapon used against the people that were protesting there. And so Karen's got a story to tell about that. She came back she got photos of herself with burns on her face and stuff like that. And this is from inside their tents. And so, yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Like, just to be aware of
the
what we're going
protest.
to be aware of and what we might have to protect ourselves from. But as I said, always staying positive, that I believe that we're going to pass through this time and we're going to get rid of these elements. We're going to, have a triumph over these evil forces that want to take over everything.
Yeah, first thing I'm thinking about is the fourth turning, and I think we've got another year, and then we've got 5 more years, 2030, when they say the fourth turning's going to happen, something like that. Fourth turning is a sort of a cycle of there's the first, second and third turning, and then the fourth turning is when it completely changes and revolutionises and comes back to the start again.
So what was the time frame of the turning, did you say?
I think they said 80 to 100 years.
Okay.
So,
alright, yes, I know you've talked about that before, and I'll have to look into it and see what I understand about it.
Yeah, maybe it's not. I don't know about the You have a different idea of revelation than I do. I think. Yeah, I still think all the bad stuff's going to happen.
That's one in the pumpkin pot, I think.
Yeah. But, in the cycle, I think things are going to get better. But only after 5 years, because of that, what people are predicting in that fourth turning book. So,
what was the 5 years?
It's 2025 and 5 more years, 2030.
Oh, is that with the
So maybe it's also Agenda 2030 is very similar to that as well. Maybe they just purposely said 2030 based on the fourth turning, and can they really have their it just seems a bit stupid they say their date when the revolution's going to come. It's just really? You're going to make smart cities happen in that when everything's supposed to reset? Really? I don't know. It sounds a bit weird for that to happen on that date, anyways.
Yeah. Well, I think we should get down the pumpkin pot. Are you able to grab that?
I must be very careful.
Don't drop it on your head.
No.
There was ones I was going to put in. So anyone who's got any subjects they want us to talk about, please leave a comment.
I could probably put self-help in there. It's a big topic for me at the moment.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, I'll write that down. Self-help. Oh, maybe we should. Where's our jar of
little pieces of paper?
Pieces of paper. So we can write self-help. That's your edition.
I did put farming in there, didn't I?
I reckon.
I think I did.
I reckon we did. Yeah. I reckon one day I should take them all out and I should have done that after. But anyway,
Okay.
let's shake them around. And you can take one out, madam.
Oh, the Kingdom of God.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Kingdom of God. All right, so that'll be our subject for next week. We'll talk about the Kingdom of God. So that's a good one because that's very interesting. That crosses a lot of boundaries because it's political.
It's political. It's
and it's spiritual.
Brendan, it's
and
political
it's religious.
and it's religious, and you should be doing special warfare to the Kingdom of God. I'm not attacking Brendan or anything.
It'd be interesting to talk about what is the Kingdom of God. What do we think of when we talk about the Kingdom of God?
Yeah.
How do we understand that?
It manifesting around us, I think. Because Pockets of the Future, that's another channel I really like. I used to watch him, yeah. Not that he's bad or anything, I just got out of him.
He waffles on a bit though, doesn't he?
Maybe. He has a long video.
And he's very opinionated I seem to remember.
Mine.
Anyway.
I just like maybe because pockets of future means like future coming to manifest. I don't know what his actual meaning of it was, but that's what I get from the name. And I think pockets everywhere. Not everywhere. Maybe just pockets of places where the kingdom of God can manifest, and that is the future. Yeah. Pockets of the future. That's probably my best idea of what I think it is. So.
Well, I mean, where's the source of the knowledge, of the concept? The source is the Bible, so probably we'd have to go there. But then, see how that's journeyed in the last 2,000 years, and even before that, because like the concept of the kingdom of God comes from the idea of Israel.
Yeah.
And that kingdom.
And then I don't know if I'd end up talking about the modern Israel and cyber technology.
Yes,
stuff.
well, that's. I don't
or
know,
maybe I
I
have
can't
to
remember if I
hold
put that
myself
in there.
back. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up to date with Brendan, unfortunately. So.
Right. Well, so there's our scattered little offering for today. Hopefully, we'll hopefully keep tuning in, and we'll we'll do more. We're going to have fun.
Yes.
It's going to be a great year, so I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Catherine.
That's all right, yeah.